New information tonight on what 4 victims of a deadly massacre in Fayette County were doing hours before they were shot to death. The suspected gunman is believed to have shot himself. He's in the hospital but is not expected to survive. Ross Guidotti is live with more on what we learned today. Ross.
Hey, Christine, as you can imagine, places like Melcroft, Donegal, close to where this took place, they are still very much in a state of shock over the tragic events that played out in the early morning hours on Sunday. There were a few more details that have worked their way out regarding the investigation, to include what 4 of the victims and the 1 survivor were doing. What were they up to in the hours before 4 of them were gunned down? KDKA has learned the events that led to the murder of 27-year-old William Scott Porterfield, 25-year-old Chelsea Lou Klein, 23-year-old Courtney Sue Snyder, and 21-year-old Seth William Klein may have begun at this place, the Tall Cedars Bar in Donegal. According to various sources, the 4 victims and 1 survivor were at the popular establishment just before they would travel to this car wash early Sunday morning in nearby Melcroft, where state police say 28-year-old Timothy O'Brien Smith opened fire on all, killing 4 of the group before he's believed to have turned the gun on himself.
I had known Tim Smith since I was about 15 or 16 years old, and I never would have thought in a million years he would have did this.
According to law enforcement sources, the focus has turned to the suspect as well as the victim's cell phones and any communication amongst the parties. Investigators are also going over surveillance video from the bar as well as the shooting scene. Was the mass shooting the result of threats or challenges to meet up at the location and for Timothy Smith to settle things with a fight with Klein's companion for the evening, William Scott Porterfield? Either way, indications are the heavily armed Smith may have ambushed the victims. Smith's alleged murderous rage fueled by romantic rejection from Chelsea Lou Klein.
He would leave her stuff on her car. Yeah, she'd get done with work and she'd come out and there'd be a case of beer on her hood or scratch off tickets or anything. If he found out she was sick, he'd bring her flowers. He loved her.
All right, Sammy Snyder is the young woman who's believed to have survived the shooting, jumping into the backseat area of the pickup truck that was raked with gunfire. We understand she is undergoing psychiatric evaluation in a Pittsburgh area hospital. Now, Timothy Smith, the young man who's believed to have committed these acts, he remains on life support, and as we mentioned earlier, he is not expected to survive. Reporting live, Ross Guidotti, KDKA-TV News.